Hey guys, I hope you are all doing well today. I felt like doing this video today because, I don't know, I woke up feeling good. It's sunny today, which it feels like it's the first sunny day in, I don't know, weeks. And it was starting to get a little depressing out there, so I woke up and the sun was shining and I'm like, today feels like a good day to do a video. So I'm here today and I want to share my thoughts on this card right here, which is about self-acceptance. Speaking from my own experience, this has been something that I personally struggled with. I feel like I'm getting better with it now. I have a different outlook on myself now than I did a few years ago. So yeah, I felt like this was something that I kind of felt like I wanted to talk about today and share my thoughts on. So the card that I have here today is from the Buddhism reading card deck. It's one of my favorites. It has tons of great insights and cards and things like that. So this one says, to be beautiful means to be yourself. You don't need to be accepted by others. You need to accept yourself, by Thich Nhat Hanh. And then once you accept who you are, you don't have to struggle to be someone you are not. You are truly free to fully explore the talents and special gifts that you were born with. Use these special gifts and skills in service of other people and the world. Your purpose in life can only be flourished by your self-acceptance. So I feel like a lot of us can relate to struggling, at least at one point or another in our lives, struggling with self-acceptance, whether that be mentally, physically, spiritually, or all of the above. I know that I personally have struggled with all three, and you know, some days are better than others when it comes to self-acceptance. I have put in a lot of work to be okay with myself mentally and physically. I used to beat myself up a lot when it came to how I would see things, whether that be how I saw myself or just the world in general. I used to take my own thoughts to heart, or like very personally, and over the past little bit, I've kind of taught myself that things aren't fixed, like our thoughts aren't fixed. How we see things can change very easily. If I don't like something about myself, I can change it. But I feel like as long as I'm doing it for me and not because it's something that somebody else doesn't like about me, then I'm not open to change, unless it's somebody like family or friends and they're kind of just pointing something out that maybe I could fix, that would benefit myself and others around me, then sure. But it's not open to changing just anything, especially if it's a part of myself that I actually like. I hope that makes sense. And then when it would come to accepting myself physically, so body positivity and things like that is something that I have struggled with for a long time, since I was in elementary school. I've always saw myself as someone who was always a bit heavier than my friends, and I feel like that affected me in a certain way. And I used to be very hard on myself when I would look in the mirror. But now when I catch myself seeing myself in that more so of a negative light, I just tell myself that it's my body, it's the body that I am going through life with. We have been through a lot, and I'm not as hard on it now as I was before. And I just can't beat myself up over it anymore because circumstances, you know, things have happened and we've been through some stuff together. You know, like, it's, my body has been through a lot, my mind has been through a lot. We all have. We go through life and we go through things, and that has an effect on how we think and how, you know, the physical changes happen. And yeah, I've learned to just remind myself that my body is my home. It's what carries me through this life. It's the one thing that will always be with me. So why am I treating it so badly, or, you know, saying these negative things about it when it's like my best friend, if that makes sense. So even though there are some things about it that I may want to change, that's fine, but I'm done with, you know, really, or I'm trying to be done with, because like I said, you know, some days are easier than others, but I feel like now I'm just quicker at catching those negative thoughts and switching them and being more gentle towards the way I see myself, and just learning to accept myself. And if there are changes that I want to make, I can go ahead and make them, as long as I'm, you know, doing it for the right reasons. For example, a few years ago, I don't know how many now, maybe like 5 years ago, I lost a lot of weight. Not a lot, but I lost weight, and I got down to a weight that I was really happy with, and I was proud of myself for being able to do that. And then, you know, things happened, the pandemic happened, just a lot of things happened, and slowly I started to gain the weight back. And I wasn't happy about that, but I had to, you know, tell myself that these past few years, we've been through a lot. Like, you can't, you know, be so hard on yourself for gaining it back, but let's notice it, which I did, and let's, you know, start to make a change. How do I go about making the change now? What's the first steps that I need to take? And then this past November, I bought a treadmill, and it wasn't just about wanting to lose the weight either. I was starting to notice that, you know, things were just achy more, like my back and my legs and stuff. And I didn't like that feeling. I wasn't used to that. And it was kind of like a wake-up call. And I was like, I don't have to be feeling this way. Like, there are maybe some things that I could be doing that can help with this pain and help me to feel better. So in November, I bought a treadmill, and I started walking every day. And I've always been the type of person to start these things and not finish them, you know. I think the longest before this time, when I started a workout routine thing, probably went for about 2 months, and then I fell off the wagon and then didn't go back to it until this past November. And I've kept it up, and I'm continuing to do it every day. I do take breaks on days when, you know, work runs late, or I'm just exhausted, or I feel like I've done a lot in that day, that I don't really want to push myself, but I also don't want to make it an unpleasant experience, if that makes sense. I want it to be something that I look forward to doing every day, and not something that I'm dreading having to do. So some days, if I feel, you know, the energy is there and all that, then I'll take advantage of that and I'll push myself a little bit further. But on days when it's not happening, it's not there, then I, you know, am glad that I can even do just a little bit, like a half hour or a 40-minute walk, and that's good enough. So yeah, I'm quite proud of myself for that, and I hope that it's something that I stick with, and it's kind of become a part of my routine now. So if I don't do it, it feels wrong, or it feels like my day is not complete unless I do it. And there has been changes, like physically, like I've lost weight and stuff since November, which is great, but I feel like it's definitely more about how I feel than compared to how I look. Like, yes, it's nice that I'm starting to see changes when I look in the mirror, but I'm starting to feel more confident now and just better and healthier. So yeah, recently I definitely have been working on self-acceptance more, and there has even been times where I've, looked at a piece of my personality, a part of my personality that I've questioned if people like or not, or should I change this if people don't like it. But it's a part of who I am, and it's not something that I don't like about myself or something that I want to change. It's a part of who I am, and that has been something that I've learned to accept about myself. And recently I've been trying to figure out where I want to go in life more. I feel like a lot of us feel a bit lost right now, and aren't quite sure where we want to go. And it's very, it feels good to know that I'm not the only one that feels this way, especially people that are around my age group. It's okay to feel lost and not have a clue where you're going yet. And I see a lot online of, people talking about how everyone's timeline for things is different. So just because, your friends are getting married or having kids or doing these things and you're not, or you don't want that for yourself, that's okay, because everybody is on their own path. No two paths are the same. And I think that's a really great message to have out there for people to hear. And that's another thing that I've accepted about myself, is my path is different than a lot of the people that I surround myself with, and that's okay. I don't want the same things that some of them want, so why would I be on a similar path if we want different things? Like, it just doesn't make sense. So that's something that I have brought to my own attention and have learned to be okay with. So yeah, that's kind of what I have, some of my own personal experiences and thoughts towards self-acceptance. It's still a work in progress, obviously. I feel like that's something that we all, work on as we go through life. I don't think we ever really master anything. We continue to grow and expand on our knowledge and opinions and the way that we see the world. But that is what I have discovered about myself so far on self-acceptance. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this topic as well. If you would like to share, please feel free to leave a comment. And thank you so much if you made it to the end of this little rant, chat, vent video, whatever you want to call it. I really appreciate it, and I shall see you in the next one.